TVA is caught in a phenomenon known as time slipping. When scrutinized frame by frame, the sight is profoundly unsettling. Loki raises his hands before his face, causing them to wrench away from his arms, resembling taffy adhered to a pavement. In an instant of vanishing, he reemerges, his vision briefly twisted, revealing his right eyeball in a crimson socket. Then, a mere frame later, his head fissures, relocating his anguished mouth and furrowed brow. As Loki experiences these temporal shifts within the time theater, he briefly mirrors the Neo-esque bullet dodge before being transported to a jet ski parking lot where an inflatable balloon figure harasses him. This trailer starts elucidating the concept of time slipping, shedding some light on its essence. However, comprehending its precise meaning within the broader MCU necessitates deeper exploration, especially in contrast to the glitches observed in the Spiderverse films. This video aims to unravel the true nature of this phenomenon as it fundamentally defines Loki's narrative. It's worth noting that SAG-AFTRA acknowledges the role of entertainment journalists. Initially, many might associate time slipping with the glitching witnessed in the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and its sequel, where characters like Peter Parker and Miles Morales contort within alternate universes. While there are parallels with Loki's situation, there's a distinction. In the trailer, Loki clarifies that he's been thrust through time, spanning past and present. Should his revelations hold true, this world faces imminent annihilation without any safeguard. This highlights a crucial differentiation between the primary divisions of temporal traverse. Utilization of the time stone facilitates seamless temporal manipulation, enabling actions such as reversing the decay of an apple or restoring Vision's Mind Store affected forehead as orchestrated by Wanda Maximoff. Loki's experience of time slipping mirrors the sensation of traveling an icy walkway where balance is compromised, leading to slight advancements or regressions. Although discomforting and unsteady, the individual remains on the same path. Consequently, the second category pertains to glitching, denoting instances wherein one's physical state diverges considerably from their native timeline and aligns with an alternate version in another universe or timeline. This phenomenon is exemplified when Miles Morales finds himself in Earth 42 during the conclusion of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Notably, these occurrences involve navigating desperate paths akin to various sidewalks. A more controlled manifestation of glitching can be observed in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, termed dreamwalking. Here, both Wanda Maximoff and Doctor Strange effectively transfer their consciousness to alternate versions of themselves in distinct universes. The possibility arises whether the abilities of Ava Starr, alias Ghost, within the MCU are analogous to this concept. These capabilities were recently demonstrated by the Skrull Gaia in the climax of Secret Invasion, in addition to the manifold power sets showcased in the MCU. However, the phenomenon of phase shifting might be akin to ghost glitching, as if traveling into alternate timelines or parallel universes of her own existence. This ability stems from her connection to quantum energy. In a similar vein, Bill Foster, within the same movie, discussed how quantum particles can exist across multiple parallel realities. You don't need to possess a heightened sensitivity to realize that spending prolonged hours in the kitchen warrants the use of an apron to safeguard your attire. And for aficionados of Star Wars, this inclination is only magnified. In analogy, consider the act of glitching as akin to walking along a sidewalk and suddenly realizing you're simultaneously strolling on the opposite side of the street. This is akin to time slipping, a single sidewalk sliding forward and backward, and glitching where multiple sidewalks sporadically teleport across each other. This distinction is pivotal because despite Loki's narrative being centered on the multiverse, the conclusion of Loki's first season distinctly redefines it as a tale of predestination along a singular timeline. Even occurrences that were believed to have unfolded beyond the constraints of time, such as within time-neutral zones like the TVA, the Void, or He Who Remains Citadel, were all meticulously orchestrated according to his script. He Who Remains orchestrated Loki and Sylvie's journey to encounter him within that very citadel. The convergence of Loki and Sylvie across various dimensions took place within a single timeline that remains under the control of one dominant strand, encompassing all these divergent branches. This occurs despite the TVA's assertion that time manipulation is impossible within its confines. However, However, the TVA is unveiled as a facade established by a Kang variant to exert dominance. Given the time proceeds within normally this Kang's timeline within the TVA, movements like advancing and regressing within that particular timeline are feasible. Loki presently finds himself detached from his temporal position, not due to glitches with alternate Lokis in different timelines, but rather due to the slight time shifts, a forward or backward displacement of mere seconds. These temporal shifts strain his body as it endeavors to synchronize with the displacement. Applying a sense of destiny logic to Loki's experience at the repairs and advancements desk with Ke Huy Quan, in essence, this constitutes a closed loop. However, the solution lies in Loki embracing the temporary detachment from time, acknowledging the temporal shifts, and moving only with deliberate intent, thereby minimizing the intensity of these shifts. This echoes the lessons learned by characters like Billy Pilgrim and Kurt Vonnegut's creation in Slaughterhouse-Five, or Desmond Hume from Lost. These characters find themselves adrift in time and learn to embrace the unpredictability, ultimately finding solace in this temporal journey. Desmond's experience leads to his gradual deterioration until he stabilizes in the episode The Constant. A similar dynamic might be at play between Loki and his constant Sylvie. Sylvie's world, glimpsed in a trailer within a record store, also seems to be unraveling from her perspective. The temporal slippage experienced by both might be interlinked, possibly only remediable when these two multiverse counterparts reunite as partners in this cosmic dance. Feel free to share your thoughts on this interpretation, and if you're interested in more content, make sure to subscribe.